Hi guys, my name is Dylan Myers. I am doing this video for my final project for ethical hacking, which is EEL 4806 for FIU for fall for 2017. Today what I'm going to be teaching you about is social engineering and how you can use that to gain access to information you might not have. We learned this in this class this year. We're going to be using Kali Linux. So mainly what we're going to be doing today is we're going to talk about what is social engineering. So social engineering is the use of centralized planning in an attempt to manage social change or regulate the future development and behavior of a society. This is more of a general term. You can really use it for anything. The main thing I'm going to be using it for today is to send out a phishing email in order to gain information on someone's Facebook account. I have already created a Gmail account and that Facebook account, so we'll be able to hack into that. So different types of social engineering. So we have phishing, which is what we're going to be using today. There's also baiting, pretext, and tailgating. So what is phishing? So phishing scams might be the most common type of social engineering. They demonstrate some of the following characteristics. So if you seek to obtain some information, such as names, email addresses, social security numbers, you can get all of this through a phishing scam. Alright guys, so here we're going to jump into Kali Linux and I'm going to show you exactly how to use Kali Linux in order to hack into someone's account and use a phishing email and such like that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Applications. We are going to go to Social Engineering Tools, and then you're going to type in set right over here. So this is going to launch a terminal page. So here you're going to get a list of options. So you have social engineering attacks, penetration attacks, and a bunch of other ones. We're going to pick social engineering attacks for this one. So here's a couple of other options. We have spear phishing attacks, website attack vectors. We're going to click on website attack vectors. Whenever you guys want, you guys can go through all these and learn about each one, but today we're just going to be focusing on website attack vectors. So with this, it brings us to another page. You could use Metasploit as a browser exploit. You can use webjacking. We're just going to do credential harvesting, since that's what the main purpose of a phishing email is to send an email to someone, make them click on a link, and whatever information they type in that link, we should be getting that information back. So let's type in number 3. So now that we're typing in number 3, we're going to get to site cloner, which is option number 2. So here it's going to ask for our local host or our IP address for our machine. So I'm just going to type that in here and press that. So now it's going to ask us for the URL or something that you want to clone. So we can use Google, we can use Apple iCloud, for instance. So if you want to get it to access to someone's iCloud, you can do that through here. So all you have to do is type in HTTP // Facebook. Well, you want to type in www.facebook.com. Alright, so once we do that, it's gonna take a little bit. So right here I get an error on my page, nothing to really worry about there, but now we're all up and running. So once you see, the information will be displayed to you as it arrives below. So as you see here, it's running on port 80, which is what's used to access the internet. So now what we could do is jump into right here. So what I found is this cool website that it's called mks.cz. So emkei.cz. So what this is, it's a fake emailer account essentially. So you can use HTML in order to make it look more realistic. This is one of the only ones that I found that actually does that. So since we are mimicking the Facebook support, generally you want to put your name. This is what's going to show up as your name. So Facebook support. So it's going to look something like that. And then here it's going to say from which email you want to send it from. So if you give them an email like your own, they're going to look over and then it's going to see, hey, this is an email from you. So you generally don't want to do that. Obviously, this is who you're going to be sending it to. For me, I have created an email address, victimfiu 2017 at gmail.com. So the subject is going to be whatever you think is convincing. So we're going to put Facebook Support Center. So they're going to click on that and they're going to see that it's Facebook support. They're going to see it's from Facebook support as well. So here I've actually created a little bit of a script for you to run essentially. So what this is, it says, dear Facebook user. So if you use a little bit of HTML, it makes it a little bit more convincing. So I essentially wrote, we've seen unusual sign-in activity. If you try to log on, the whole yada yada. Here I put a link, so please click here to be directed to the login page. So here in your href, which is what you use for HTML to reference a link, you're going to want to put your IP address, 1200.0.0.1. So the main problem with this is that when we send this here, right here, would be a hyperlink. But if they hover over that, it's going to say our IP address. And you don't really want that because then it'll be traced back to us. So I found this website. It's tinyurl.com. So what it does is it creates a URL website that doesn't match your own. So you could type in your IP address here and then press make tiny URL. So wait for that to load. So right here will then be the URL that we can use and paste in our fake email. Let's get that. Oh. Sorry, it's a little laggy. I think it's loading in some ads. Yep. Alright, let's right click that, press copy, and then we're going to go back to our email here, and then instead of our IP address, you can now paste in the tiny URL. So it's going to say https tinyurl.com/this to be directed to a secure login page. So who do you want to send this to? So I'm going to send this to, well, I'm going to say who it's from. Since it's just me, I'm going to put my my email. Let me see. Actually, no, that would not be a good idea. So what we're going to do, we would put a from email like a repo at FIU. This is my professor's email, so this is going to say it's from this email. So if we press, let me just make sure, this should be 17. So victimfiu at gmail.com, Facebook Support Center. So click I'm not a robot, which I mean, I hope you're not. If you're watching this in the future and AI gets that good, might be. Okay, so we're gonna have to click the street signs here. So press next. More street signs. I guess that would be considered one. Alright, so now we can send this. Alright, so it has sent. Let's go now to the inbox and let's refresh this page. Hey guys, so now we have this email and it's in our inbox. So if you see here, it looks pretty legit. So Facebook support, Obviously that's not my email, but it says dear Facebook user, and it does look fairly legit if you don't know much about computers or anything like that. So the cool thing here is now if we click on this link, Google automatically detects that it's a tiny URL. That's just because that's how Google is. Obviously you can get better at this and use different techniques. This is just one technique that I will use. So if we press proceed here, just give it a second. So now it's going to launch, what it's going to launch is Facebook's login page. So if you look here, while this loads up, and we look in terminal, it shows that we've just connected to this web page. So let's go back. So here, if you look in the URL right here, it shows our IP address. Let's go ahead and actually enter some information in there. So victim FIU 2017 at gmail.com, and then we can type in a password here saying fluffy bunnies, because if you don't type in fluffy bunnies, this actually won't work. So let's just press login here. So now you're going to see a bunch of information actually going on in the background. So this all did its part. So let's head back to the terminal and see what happened. So now we're back here in the terminal, and we can see that right here it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But if you look all the way down here at the bottom, username field found, victim FIU 2017 at gmail.com, and the password is fluffy bunnies. So we got their password now. So now we have access to their account. We could try other, so a lot of people nowadays, they use the same password, they use the same email for all their accounts. So we can use this information now to get access to more of their life or social life online. So I just want to thank you guys. I just want to remember that this is purely for educational purposes and for my final project for EEL 4806. Thank you and have a great day.